Hey, good morning. Believe I'm live. Hope everybody. Oh, it's Kaylee and me. Hope you got a cup of. Do you drink coffee, Kaylee? Tea, coffee. Letty's not here yet. I'm keeping an eye on the basement. How's your morning? How's your morning? Do amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Da, da, da. Well, good morning, Vanessa. Good morning to you, my friend. Sherry's Art on Wheels. Welcome. I knew this would be a Roy and Becky raid. Kaylee once was lost, but now I'm found. Yes, it calms me down when I feel a little anxious. It's kind of like a prayer. Scott Jacobs. Hello, Scott. Thank you for coming over. I hope so, Kaylee. Oh, thank you, dear. I like to sing. I used to sing a lot. Not so much anymore. But when I'm nervous, I sing I usually sing Amazing Grace. When my son was little and when he was still in a crib, I put him to sleep every night. I'd go laying on the floor nursing our travel bug. Hello, I'm assuming that might be Bill. Maybe. A little bit crazy 84. Welcome to you. But I would go lay under my son's crib part way and I'd sing I'd sing Amazing Grace. I go out walking. I love Patsy Cline. Indie T Show, welcome to you. Glad you're here. And he went to sleep. I did not have trouble with my kid going to sleep as a baby for the most part. Fordman, aka Kenneth Oaks, he slept perfectly. That kid, I went to sleep about 10 o'clock every night and woke up about 6 o'clock every morning from pretty early in babyhood on. Oh, okay. Glad you're both here. Roy and Becky, thank you for the raid. Misty Pruitt, welcome. Glad you're here. I've got a dog behind me wanting to go out. I'm a dog door man, a dog door woman. Oh, and he's actually pounding on the door with his paw to get out. Please excuse me, and I apologize. Come on, mister. Oops. Hold on. I'm gonna leave the door open. He just wanted to come in there? Okay, well, let it. Because look how smoky. Okay. Come on, sir. Come on, go. I'm coming right back, I promise, people. Someone's calling. Okay. Sorry for that interruption. Lucky Dog Productions moderator, welcome. Van Life Rocks. My guest is not here yet. She's coming. Sherry's Art on Wheels. So she is coming. I think we're having a little trouble. I sent her the link via email, and my son is monitoring my phone. Our guest today will be Letty, Living Life with Letty Tippins. And I love that lady. I've got some really cute clips too of her. There's just, it kills me, you know? Anybody can go out on the road. You just have to want to do it, really. And we may be closer than we think. Let's see. On my way next week. I mean, I want to meet you guys. I feel like I know you, and I adore you, Vanessa, and you're going to need to I'm going to need someone good to cut my hair. It's just, I'll admit it, I'm a hair snob. I do like short hair, but I like it cut right. And as a matter of fact, tomorrow I'm going to get it cut. Anything from Letty yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Sure. So, yeah. That's my goal. Yep, rheumatoid arthritis, and she's still making it happen. Yes. I don't want to tell her story for her, but yep, we all know it. And I have great respect for Letty. Extreme respect for Letty. All of you. Oh, he is sign on. I haven't seen him yet. You almost met Letty. I get little goosebumps, because these are people that I really, really have led me to know that I can do this, even though I have some limitations. It actually brings tears to my eyes because that's how bad I want this. Linda R. Okay. So you might send Letty email for me. You can just go from my, okay.
Say what?
And say, are you having trouble with the link? People that have given me, profound amount of hope that it's possible. I mean, I don't have to be a tip-top condition. Although I'm telling you, I watch Scott and Roy and Mike go on hikes, and that's the kind of thing Richard and I would like to be able to do. Maybe we'll never get to hike that far, but just to be able to do some hiking, that's what we want to do. I'm going to speak for myself. I don't know about Richard, but he doesn't like to sit still. He does not like to sit still. And so I believe going on some day hikes would be a nice thing. And I'm going to have a sip of coffee, guys. So what's everybody up to this morning besides waiting for me to get the connection going with Letty? This is the part that I go, yeah, Linda, Letty's she's so funny. She got the sweetest personality. Excuse me, I got itch. She got the sweetest personality. She just seems so little and like a little stuffed toy, you just want to hug. We're still struggling with smoke. As I look out there, I'm feeling world according to Jim. Hello, Jim. Yep, we're all that anybody lives here in this Northwest. We're waiting for the smoke to go bye-bye because we can't go outside and do anything. Can't let our animals out for any length of time. Doing school and piano lessons. We are editing. That's this afternoon. So Modern King last night had we had a clear night last night. And so today we wake up with this. Well, it's because there was probably some good airflow last night. And then this morning, there's probably some fog that's keeping it down. I know, Kaylee. We watched the news and I'm a little shocked that it reached New Jersey. Oh, Letty. Okay, so sweetheart, I'm going to drop a link into the chat and we'll get you on here that way. Copy to clipboard. And all you have to do is grab the link when you see it. And then it'll do the same thing that the other link would do. So, yeah, we'll get started from there. I'm excited. Like I needed any more coffee. I had to trim my nails yesterday because they had gotten too long and I was having a hard time typing. Camping therapy. Hello, Doreen. I'm glad you're here today. Muscle car appraisal. Welcome to you. Well, we got 19 in the room, and there's going to be 19 people that are going to be very happy they were here because Letty, if anybody feels like sharing this out, please feel free to share it out. because Letty Tippins is well worth listening to. Trust me, I don't say that easily. Somebody's worth listening to, but this lady is worth listening to. And I saw that I had a little lag on my computer here. NDT show, welcome to you. As soon as I see her in the basement, it takes a few seconds, maybe about a minute, has been my experience. I will bring her up and we'll get rolling here. Thank you, Kaylee, for dropping her link. Moderators do think ahead of their creator, whatever it is we call ourselves. I'm still confused about that. I'm pushing my computer back just a little bit because my fear is this someday is going to go over, and I'm hanging on to it with both hands. I promise, Kaylee. Both hands wrapped around it. Just about. I see her in the basement. All right, Letty, when you're ready to come up, just give me a wave. All right, dear. All right, guys.
Can you see me okay?
Y'all perfectly, Letty. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Hey, well, I'm going to turn my computer up a little because you have a little small voice. I have a giant one. I'm always afraid I'm yelling at people.
Oh, I'll talk louder. Is it so better?
Yeah, it's good, sweetheart. I got it. Red Ruby Sky, welcome for coming. And thank you, Letty, very much. You do not know how appreciative I am of you coming. You're one of the people that I literally have little chills and goosebumps because you're one of the people who gives me a lot of hope because I have limitations. Yeah. And so watching you reminds me that I can do this too.
Yeah.
All right.
You can do it.
So I want to go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to show a real quick clip of your van in case there are people here who might not have seen it. And that way, and then we'll talk a little bit of how you got on the road, what kind of prompted you to do this. So I'm going to just show, this is a clip of you talking. I'm going to show this clip.
Okay. Can people hear it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, because I can't hear it over here.
And the reason I played that clip is because you talk about the headline of that was that it saved your life.
Yes.
So I just kind of open up with that. You want to tell people what made you get started in this and how that might fit into your story?
Sure. Well, I started a year and a half ago, and it was because I was really depressed. I was practically bedridden. I was in pain all the time. I still have pain, but because I'm so busy doing things, I don't think about it as much. When I was just laying there, that's all I thought about was, how much pain I was in, discomfort, depressed because I couldn't do things. It was terrible. I had almost lost the will to continue. And then by chance, I was watching some YouTube videos and Bob Wells popped up. And so I was, he was interviewing Dee from Box Van D. That was the first video I ever saw. And I thought, well, if she can live in her car, I had an SUV at the time. I said, I can at least travel in the SUV and get out of the house. So I started preparing everything. My grandson was helping me. And I wanted a van so bad. I kept saying, I wish I had a van. If only I had a van. But, financially, I couldn't think about it at that time. So all of a sudden, the police came to my door one night and asked me if that was my car parked out there. And I said, yes. some lady smashed into it while it was parked, and they totaled it. So I got the money from the insurance company, and I went and I got my little van. And then I started, I hired this guy from Craigslist, and he came and he made the floor and the bed. And that's all I had. Oh, and then another young man made just a little table, and that's all I had. And so I grabbed my clothes and a little cooler, and I headed out to a gentleman. I wanted to get solar so that I could run the fan, because one of my subscribers donated the fan, a Max fan, and I had that installed, but then I didn't have any way to run it, and I didn't want to wear out my car battery. So this wonderful gentleman named Robert Vandenbrink told me, come to Flagstaff and I'll install the solar for you, because they wanted like a ton of money at an RV shop. So I headed out to Flagstaff. My first trip, I didn't know what I was doing. And then meeting a man that I had no idea who he was. He could have been an axe murderer, you know, but I took the chance. And I got up there, and he was wonderful. And there were a lot of other people that I met. And I ended up staying 2 months. And I had very little. I mean, I really did not have hardly anything. And so little by, I had to rent a Walmart. I bought a stove because I didn't have one. I didn't even know how to use it. They had to show me how to use it. And, I was blessed because I was surrounded by a bunch of wonderful people. That's where I met Vanessa from Van Van's Travel. She found me, and we have become really good friends since. And I just, and so then after that, I came home after 2 months. Then I went to the van build, and I was there for 3 weeks. And then I came home, and then I went back in January for the RTR, and I ended up staying 4 months in Quartzsite, and then moved to Havasu, and then we moved to Flagstaff. And, I'm not going to say that it's easy. No, it's not. There were times that I even cried because I was in pain. I had nothing, really, it's not like being at home. But those moments were just, just moments, and then it would go away, and then I would enjoy myself again because I'm out in nature. I'm meeting people. I'm not stuck at home alone in my bed, thinking about my disabilities and getting all depressed. So it has really, really changed me 100%.
I'm telling you, that story right there is profound, because many people would put their, put that thought, oh, I'd like to do this. It looks like it would be fun and, might be helpful in some way, but they would put that to bed and they'd climb back in bed. And you did the opposite. That takes a fortitude that is not, I think, the average person. But then again, I'm finding that the people who follow through and do this are not average people. They seem to be a little bit of tougher nature.
Yeah, tougher, and sometimes I think a little dumb. Well, when I was on my very first trip, really, I had to come home. I set out I was going to meet some ladies, viewers of my channel, and they were going to go to Arizona to, I can't think of the name, where the beautiful Rock Mountains. Anyway, I was supposed to meet them there, and I hit out, and I only made it 6 hours, and I couldn't get it. And then I decided to go to sleep at a Walmart. And in the morning, I couldn't get out of my van. Both of my doors were completely locked from the inside. I had no idea what was going on. I had to crawl to the front seat, which is very painful because my knees, you have to bend your knees. And oh my God, I screamed from the pain, but I had to do it. Yeah. It was like 6 a.m. I thought maybe I'll call the police and they'll come and get me out. But then there were a lot of other people sleeping there, and I didn't want to, make a commotion. So I just did it, and I got into the front seat, And I came home because I go, there's no way I can do this every day. I have to get these doors fixed.
Right.
And what it was the child in this type of van. If anybody has a Transit Connect and is watching, what happens is these doors, the child lock is way in the back, and you have to put your key to undo it. I didn't know. And the first guy that I went to, he didn't know either. And then finally I found a guy who knew about Transit Connect. And so he fixed the doors for me. So then I headed back to Flagstaff. So it's been a challenge. It's been hard. One of my doors broke when I was in Flagstaff this last time. The little motor that makes it run, and I couldn't, and that's the side that I get in and out of. And so I'm panicking, but luckily this guy came and he fixed it for me. So, things are going to happen on the road. And I've been lucky that that's all that has happened so far. I've known people, their engine breaks or that is just part of the course. But the payoff is so much greater than the negative, because it's, you're out there, you're free, you can relax, you're not on a schedule. It's just a wonderful life. I really miss it. And I'm going to be going out again in November, and I can't wait. And this time I'm going to see if I can make it 5 or 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned your Transit Connect, and what I'm going to do is show people just a little picture of that in case they don't know what it is, because you are not living in a, when you're out, let me find the right one. It's a small one. You can't even stand up in it, really, can you?
Yeah, I can. It's 5 feet, and I'm 5'1.5".
Okay.
So I can stand up if I just, put my head down a little bit like this, and I can get dressed and everything. So yeah, if it was just an inch and a half taller, I'd be able to stand up straight. But
okay. So that, I see those all over the place. I think that for some people that's a great opportunity because it's not big. There's more mobility. It's easier to get it to into a parking spot. All
very
of those.
Cheap on gas. It's
Yes,
really
and cheap on gas.
Uh-huh.
So as far as your living process inside the van, so how do you, so we're going to have to ask some questions. You were with Bob Wells, okay? So the questions, and these are just interesting things because I myself, and I think in a selfish way, I've got to get an idea of what all the options are. And I think I know what the options are. But actually talking to someone who's lived through those options and how it worked out and what worked out best. So the first thing, we'll just get it on out of this way. How did you use a toilet? And what did you do? Did you park where you could get to a toilet, or what did you do?
No, I pee in a cup.
Okay.
I tried those female urination devices, but that didn't work for me. What works for me the best is medium-sized cup from a fast food place, the plastic ones.
Okay.
And I just squat a little bit, put it right up against me, and I pee in the cup. At first I was peeing in a smaller one, and it overflowed. So I figured, okay, I need a bigger one. And then I have a big jug that I just pour it in, and then in the morning or whenever I go and I dump it in a bush somewhere. And then to go poop, I have a bedpan. And what I do is I line the bedpan with a plastic trash bag. And then I also have a puppy pad that I put on the bed just in case. I've never had an accident, but you never know.
Sure.
So I put the bedpan on top of the puppy pad, and I just sit in it. And it's very easy because then I can get up. First of all, I don't have room for a bucket, with like Bob Wells advertises or shows people. There's no room for it, number one. Number two, it's too low for me. If I sit in it, I'm not going to be able to get back up. And so the bed works perfect because it's high enough. So I have no problem sitting and no problem getting back up. And then I just, wrap the trash bag, knot it up. I usually like triple bag it. I put it in another bag, and then I put it like in a Walmart bag. And
Right.
and then I'll put it like right under my van, where
Uh-huh.
where I won't forget it, where I can see it a little bit, and then I just
Uh-huh.
leave it there. And then when I go to town or wherever, and sometimes if somebody's going to town, they'll come and grab mine as well. We help each other,
Sure.
and then we just dump it in the trash. And it's
Yeah.
worked for me. My best friend are wipes. I use wipes all the time,
Mhm.
because, when you're out there, you can't shower every day. So
Right.
I just wash myself up with wipes and water and, deodorant and try to stay fresh that way. And then whenever
Uh-huh.
an opportunity arises, then I'll take a shower.
Yeah. So
So
that
that's
brings us
how.
to the whole showering thing. If you're out for several months, I understand most people use the wipes because nobody, even if you're living in a class A, has a water thing in order to sustain showering every day. So
Right.
I think all of us understand that. So when you have an opportunity to shower, what's the cost involved in that generally?
Well, if you have a membership, and on Medicare, a lot of people, that are on Medicare, some Medicare plans will cover membership to a lot of gyms. So I
Okay.
have membership to 24-hour fitness, but they don't have any in Arizona. I have membership to Planet
Okay.
Fitness, Anytime Fitness. So I have several memberships that I can go into a gym and shower. Or
Uh-huh.
like when the pandemic hit and all the gyms were closed, the showers at the truck stops were open. They're $12, but you get an hour and a half in there, and the showers are
Wow.
absolutely beautiful. You feel like you're in a 5-star hotel. Not all of them, but Great America up in Flagstaff, the
Uh-huh.
showers are beautiful. So if when the pandemic hit, then I was going there like maybe every other week and taking
Uh-huh.
a really good shower, and then just maintaining myself in the meantime.
Yeah.
So
So I have got someone who's going to be coming on, who has, check this out. Wouldn't this be cool? An hour shower. He is an inventor, and it's, I don't know if you've heard of. Did you hear? Have you heard of the hour shower?
no.
Okay. Um, you can. I don't know if it's a gallon or half a gallon where you can take a shower. It's a gadget. I was going to use the word gadget that David from Gone Boondocking has designed. And
Uh-huh.
we had a problem the day he was supposed to come on the show, but this man is, and one of his thoughts was people who need to be able to shower regularly. He wanted to help people. And I'm thinking, that would be perfect for someone
Yeah.
like yourself. And so anyways, we'll hopefully when he comes on, you'll be able to come back and watch him.
Okay.
Um, so so we got that stuff out of the way. How about cooking? What do you do to cook?
Well, I just before I left this last trip, I finally bought a refrigerator. So now I can
Mm-hmm.
have cold things. Before that, I didn't have anything because the cooler did not work for me. It wasn't a very expensive one, and the ice kept melting.
Uh-huh.
So I was just buying things that didn't need to be refrigerated.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wasn't eating very well. Canned food, top ramen, things that I could just make quickly and not have to refrigerate. I did buy a lot of fruit, a lot of bananas, a lot of grapes. So I was eating at least, semi healthy. But now that I have the refrigerator, I plan on doing more cooking because I'll be able to at least keep some meat, for a couple of days,
Mm-hmm.
eggs, cheese, things that I couldn't keep before. So I'm really excited about, when I get back out, it'll be a lot easier for me. And I
Sure.
was very blessed because a lot of the people that I camped next to would feed me. I guess, maybe they feel sorry for me. I don't know. But Vanessa was always feeding me. And then I met another lady named Sherry, and she was feeding me. And I met this couple from Michigan, Jim and Mary, and they fed me a couple of times. And so I was lucky that way that, I did have people that would bring me dinner.
That's cool. So that's another thing. So people, the sense of community that you relate here, um, it's a payoff for going out there. It's like,
Yes.
it's almost, you build a whole different family. Not that we want to get rid of our current family's my little sister does not like the thought of me thinking of other people as family, but it's another person that is in kind of in the community I'm most involved with. He calls it a family, van livers, van dwellers, a family,
Right.
everybody.
Yeah.
I'm a big tent family person. That's how my mother was, and that's how she raised us. I don't know how my little sister didn't get that, but I am like that. So tell me about that.
Well, I mean, everyone that I met, they were really, really nice,
Mm-hmm.
helpful. And like even when I went to the van build, and I met a lot of nice people there that I still communicate with. And there was a girl from Jamaica. No, not Jamaica. I'm sorry. She was married to a Jamaican, and she loved to cook Jamaican food.
Oh,
And she,
oh, yum.
yeah, and she fed me, a few times. She would cook and either call me, and I'd go over there and eat with her. But what I did do, every once in a while, I would order pizza or something, kind of to pay back, for.
Mhm.
So it was. I didn't want to feel like I was mooching off of anybody, and they were so generous. I figured, well, I have to pay it back. So that's was my way of my contribution, because I really did, and I don't really have the facility to cook for a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
So that's how I did it. But everybody, I felt like they were family, and I still communicate with a lot of them. I met, like I said, Vanessa and Shelly from Wisconsin. We talk all the time now. And I met this man named Bob, and Bob Vandenbrink. He bought land in Arizona. He offered me, when I come, I can boondock in his land and not have to worry about the Rangers coming.
Uh-huh.
And so I have a new family. Hmm.
Oh, well, that's what I've I've done that in a different way at times. I have kind of a family that I built through an organization that I've been involved with for 25 years. And so I love them. Just, family, my blood family is a little different, but I love them in a very real way. And that's
Right.
just how I am.
Yeah.
So, we've talked a little bit about some of the really important things, but I do know, and you've hit on this already, but you have some limitations, disabilities, as you called them. And so I know that it's arthritis. And when you talk about the food and eating, didn't you have a little disruption in your health being out there because you weren't able to get the right nutrition and the, supplements or whatever? How do you think you'll handle that differently this time?
Well, now, because I have the refrigerator,
Okay.
I have better options of
All right.
selecting food. What happened to me this last time, for probably the last 3 or 4 weeks that I was there, I became weak. I was in pain
Right.
all the time because of, poor eating, and also not getting enough exercise because I was in pain. And then the COVID kind of got me down, because we couldn't go anywhere. I had plans of going on to California after Flagstaff, and meeting with Kelly, the tie-dye girl that I had met at
Uh-huh.
the band build. And we had plans of going up and down the coast all the way to Portland, because I have a friend that lives in Portland. So I had all these wonderful plans, and they couldn't do anything because of COVID. And so I was kind of just laying there in my van most of the day. I hardly would come out. And so, the pain, I was depressed. My daughters were pressuring me to come home, and I didn't want to come home, but I knew maybe I should. I was a lot of things were going on. And so that was really bad, because if I don't at least walk and exercise every
Uh-huh.
day, it's like my joints start to lock up on me, and
Yep.
the pain is way more. So I know that now, and you know, I'm ready to go in November, and I'm not going to let that happen to me again. I'm just going to force myself no matter what. So
Right. You learned your lesson on what you really need to do, because going out there is one thing. It's just being able to stay out there. And you know, I had my knees replaced a year ago. I knew I would. I knew, because I found this community of people through Bob Wells after I had a really big back surgery a year and a half ago, and I watched him about 300 videos of his,
yeah.
which led me to some other, I found other people. Box Van D, number
Right.
one person, next to Bob. They kind of, in my mind, stand side by side, because he led me to her and she led me to this community of people that I'm involved with here that I absolutely adore.
Yeah.
And so I knew, I thought that's what I'm, because I personally thought I wanted to do, have an urban homestead. You know, I can't live, I didn't want to live a million miles away from town, but I I thought that's it. I do like to grow vegetable garden, and I thought that's it for me.
Right.
Um, and we did some really nice gardens for a few years, and then I've had about 12 back surgeries because of a disease in my back, and so it has caused real genuine limitations. And then I had horrible arthritis in my knees, and I needed my knees replaced, because mine is a different situation than yours. Yours is a different kind of arthritis than mine. And so I thought, once I decided that's what I wanted to do, I I knew I had to have them replaced, and so I got them replaced, just so I would be able to walk around and be a part of the community. I don't just want to sit in whatever rig we get and watch the rest of you walk by.
Right. How are they now? How are you
Well,
doing?
the pain in my knees are gone completely, just like that. The pain went away, because it's just the stuff that had grown inside my knees, is the only way to put it, was gone with the new joint put in there. Um, there's, because I'm not a small person, I'm a larger person. The recovery is a little different, because um, it just is a little different. It's not going to completely heal well, the knees are healed, but there's still some limitations that I have to deal with. But anyways, I will do that. But I watched y'all do this, and I knew I could do it too. And I was willing to go to the extreme, to do it. So let's see. We've got, there was another clip I want to show that's so cute. I'm just going to pull it up here. Let's see. We got to share the screen. It's not a video. I'm just going to show this clip. Oh, where did it go?
Oh, there. Yeah, there. I see something.
Can you hear anything?
Yeah.
I love that hat, Letty. That is, see, I'll let it play for a minute. Okay, I'm showing that because that hat I love, and it reminds me, my dad. My dad had a University of Oregon, because we're in Oregon. We are in Eugene, Oregon. He had a cap that was a U of O cap, but it had the little ball on top, and it's so cute. I love that. I love that.
I had to cut the pump. You know, the ball, the pom. Oh my God! It kept getting stuck up and everywhere, and so I finally took the scissors and whacked it off.
Oh, but it was one of the cutest pictures I've seen on all of the videos. You're the little tiny lady with this kind of big cute hat on. It was adorable.
It was very cold. When I first got to Quartzsite in January for the RTR, it got down to below 30 a couple of nights, and I don't have a heater. So but I do have a down comforter that my friend gave me. And so, you know, I would get under the down. I mean, I would get dressed really warm with a hat and gloves and everything. And then I would get under the down comforter and then another blanket and the bedspread, and I would be warm. But then I would have to get up in the middle of the night to go pee. You freeze your buns off.
Uh, I'm sure that's one of my fears. No matter what I'm in, it's going to be cold at times, and that's fine. I mean, I'm willing to live with that. I want to say hello to my niece who just came in the room, Allison. Hello, Allison. Thank you, sweetheart, for coming in today. This is one of my favorite people out on the road, Letty. So I'm glad you stopped by today, sweetheart. So one of the other big things, I'm going to play a clip. I think it's going to work this time because this is an important thing that happened. And oops, I'm wrong. I just made an error. All right, I can undo my error.
Is that when I spilled the jug of pee in the?
No, oh. I wouldn't do that to you, sweetie. I would,
I did a video on it.
Oh, okay. So here is, let's see if this works. Can you all hear it?
I can't, but that's okay.
Can you hear it?
No, I can't.
Okay. So I played that clip because you're actually at about 11,100 right now. And that's a lot of, oh, again, no sound. They couldn't hear it. Darn it. So the clip was about Letty sharing that. I don't know why the one sounded and that one didn't. That's really bizarre. Yeah. So I don't, sorry about that, guys. But Letty was sharing that she had, Bob Wells had did a van tour, and I'll let you talk about that. Let's talk about that. How did you get to over 11,000 people, Letty?
Well, I grew about 4,000 after he interviewed me. I don't know, when I first started, I only had like not even 50, and they were mostly family and friends. And then I just started, posting it on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. And then I was really lucky that this man from Michigan saw my video, and he had at that time about 50,000 followers on Instagram. So he posted me on his Instagram. And that night I had no idea what was going on. I'm sitting there, I was working on another video, and all of a sudden my phone's going crazy. Ding, 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 ding. And all these people were subscribing from Instagram. And I thought, oh my God. And then I also met another young man from Florida. Wow. And he has like, 50, 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. So he gave me a shout out, and that also brought a lot of people. And then, what is his name? When you get old, you can't think of anything. The one that does all the videos of all the YouTubers, and he has a beard, and
Bob?
No, Camo Dave. Camo Dave.
Oh, Camo Dave.
Yeah, Camo Dave gave me shout outs several times, and every time he would do that, I would get more subscribers. I also did something that, I'm not telling people to do because it wasn't nice, but I did it anyway because I wanted to grow. I had a lot of Facebook people that I didn't even know who they were. That, throughout the years, I had friended them.
Right.
So my messenger had, probably has like 500 people in there. I don't even know any of them. So whenever I would do a video, I would email a video, or a message, instant message, the video to people. And so every time I would do it, I would send out my video to 500 people, and I would maybe gain 10, 15 subscribers out of that. So finally one guy turned me in and said that I was spamming. And so YouTube sent me a letter saying, no, you can't spam. Don't do it. This is your first warning. So I contacted my friend in Florida, because actually he's the one that told me to do it. And I said, look, I just got a warning. And he said, don't worry about it. You keep doing it. They're going to warn you a second time. You can keep doing it. And then they're going to warn you that if you don't stop, they're going to take down your channel, and then stop. So I went, okay. So I did it until I got that third warning. But in the meantime, I probably got 500 or more subscribers out of that.
Wow.
Is it good? No, actually, because it doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. It really does not matter, because you can have 100,000 subscribers and maybe only 2,000 people are watching you.
Yeah.
Or you could have 5,000 subscribers and have 3,000 or 4,000 people watching your videos. So it really doesn't matter. I have 11,000 subscribers, but my videos are averaging 1,500 to 2,000. Yes. I do have a couple that are more than 2,000. So really, I don't want subscribers that are not going to watch, because yes, it's pointless. It really, you don't get paid for it. It doesn't, YouTube doesn't acknowledge it. It doesn't really mean anything. What the important thing is to get viewers to watch you.
Right.
That's the hard part. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Letty. So you're given that as a warning, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it, you can do it a couple of times, and if somebody gets, one guy, I know he turned me in, he got mad at me because I was doing it early. I was sending the videos early in the morning to all these people, and it kept waking him up, and he works nights, and he, and he kind of texted back to me, not a very nice text, you keep waking me up, quit doing that, blah, blah, blah. And so I ignored him, and that's probably I'm sure he's the one that turned me into YouTube. And but I stopped, and but I guess my point to that is that, yeah, I got subscribers, but are they subscribers that really watch me, or were they just subscribers because they wanted to help me? Yeah, I'll subscribe, but then they never came back to the channel. So that's, I guess now what I'm looking for is subscribers that are really going to, and not every video, but subscribers that are going to visit my channel every now and again. Right. Those are the subscribers that I that I'm looking for.
Sure. So. Well, I absolutely understand that. That first 1,000 friends that we get are, that's our base, important, at least was my base, my important push. And right. I like for 3 weeks, I think it was 3 weeks, I did nothing in my life, including cook or anything, for the most part. And sometimes not even getting out of my jammies, because I worked it like a dog. I was getting that done and getting over that hump, because that's just my personality. Right. And so I'm now at like 1,200, and I'm not obsessing about it, but I am now looking at that 4,000, right. The 4,000. And now I believe we're at about 12. I think we're also at about 1,200 watch hours. And right. So, we're working towards that, and that I understand that takes people to actually watch. Right. And that's the important stuff right there. But I know that we can get caught up in that. I would love to have one of those plaques I saw when, both two of the ladies I love the most, Robin from, Good golly, how could I forget her chant?
I'm trying to think of, I think I know who you're talking about. Is she creative?
Creativity RV.
Yes.
When she got her 100,000 plaque, as did the other lady who went to Alaska and did the Oregon, or did the
Carolyn RV Living.
Yes, Carolyn's RV Living. I believe that's what it's called. Those are two tough ladies too, that I look to all of you, for different reasons. I mean, Carolyn is really the lady who can go out and she can hike the Pacific Crest Trail.
Right.
She could hike 400 miles in a 2-3 month time.
Yeah.
And then, Robin is in the beautiful fifth wheel, smart lady, tells us all how to get jobs and actually live on the road.
Right.
So that we appreciate everybody who does this.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kaylee. And if you could keep dropping Letty's link, I'm going to go back through the chat here and look and just check out anybody we might have missed. Glorious Life on Wheels, thank you so much for coming. We're talking to a great lady who's a part-timer on the road. Letty from Living Life with Letty. Let's see, Doreen from Camping Therapy. Thank you, Doreen, for coming. And I understand what you were saying there. Let's see if I missed anybody else. Roy and Becky are there. Camping Therapy. Kenneth Oakes. Thank you, sweetheart, for coming, Kenneth Oakes. And then we've already said my niece. So thank you so much for coming. Well, so I'm going to see if anybody has any questions, any specific questions about what it's like. Glorious Life on Wheels says she really admires Letty.
Oh, thank you.
So I think everybody does. So while they're kind of coming up with some questions, what are some of the drawbacks to being on the road? Whether you're an older person with disabilities or a younger person, what do you say might be a drawback that people really need to think about before they go on the road?
Right. Well, for myself, it's the size of my van because it's so small, so I don't have a lot of conveniences. So that's one drawback for me. I don't have a heater, so in the winter I have to figure out how to stay warm, and it does get cold out there in the desert or anywhere really, unless Southern California, I think, is the only place that doesn't get that cold. But that's one drawback. Another drawback is, not being able to take a shower when you want. You have to go out and get water. I don't have a lot of room to keep. I can keep maybe 5-6 gallons of water in my van, and that's about it. So you have to get to the store to get water. You have to get to the store to throw out the trash. So it's work. You're constantly having to do things. You don't have the conveniences that you do at home, but once you get into the rhythm of it, it's not that much work. It really isn't. It just seems overwhelming at first. And, and you have to pick your foods so that you can have enough room to store them. You can't go and buy, a whole bunch of food and then you have no place to put it. So those are all things that you have to think of. And you also have to think of, like Bob Wells stresses in a lot of his videos, you need to have a cushion of money, because if your van breaks or your RV or whatever you have, and you don't have the money or credit cards or something, you can get in a lot of trouble. What are you going to do? So, that's very important to have. And also, both of my daughters have me, they track me on their cell phones. So if anything happens to me, they will know the last place I was or where I'm at or whatever, in case they have to call to get help for me.
Sure.
If I can't get to, anything can happen when you're out there, especially when you're our age. And if you have certain disabilities, you need to have all the ducks in a row, so that when you're out there, you're not worried about what am I going to do if this happens or if that happens. So, those are the drawbacks, that you do have to plan things ahead so that you're not.
Sure.
Yeah.
I saw you when you were walking across when you got stuck on some rocks. You were going to go to a campfire and you had your walker. I believe you had your walker, and you were trying to maneuver some rocks.
Right.
And you were really stuck. It looked like you were genuinely scared.
I did. I had a panic attack, and what it was dark. It was very dark. I couldn't. We only had the flashlight from the cell phone. It was very rocky and hilly. I'm not very stable on my feet. That's why I use the walker, a lot. I don't use the walker all the time, but when it's that rocky over there, I either need I need something to hold on to. And I just kind of and then the girl that was helping me, she started to panic too, because she's going, oh my God, you're not going to be able to make it down this hill. It's too hilly and too rocky. And then I started to panic, and I turned around and I said, no, I want to go back to my van. I mean, it was, you know, in that moment, because it was so dark, couldn't see where I was going.
Yeah.
It was scary because I have fallen in the last year, 2 years. I've fallen 3 times. I broke bones 2 times. And so now I have like PTSD about falling.
Sure.
And but I'm glad that all that happened, because I got to meet a wonderful lady named Laura. She's a ghostwriter. I did a video about her. It's a family of 5, and they live in their RV. They've been living in their RV for like 3 years now, and she homeschools her kids, and we have become really good friends. And and what happened was, when I was walking back to my van, she saw that my other friend was trying to hold on to me, and by this time, like, my legs felt like they were going to buckle from, you know, being, I don't know. I mean, it was just, you know, you get into a situation like that and you just panic. Sure. And so she came and she grabbed me. I'd never met her. And the next thing I know, I've got this lady grabbing me from the other side, and they both helped me to get in the van. And then the next day I was so embarrassed because I was crying and everything. And the next day I'm like, I am so sorry. You know, I didn't mean to make such a big scene. And she says, no, I understand. It's no big deal. And we've become really good friends. And, you know, so.
Okay, we got a couple questions, and let's start with Kaylee. She said, please tell us what we might find in your videos. I think I saw something about art and something about cooking. She's just wondering, generally, what kind of things do you talk about in your videos?
Yeah, when I'm out on the road, I talk, you know, every place that I go to, people that I meet, whatever's happening that day. So I have a lot of different things on my videos. I've interviewed a lot of people. Whenever I'm camping next to somebody, I always say, would you like me to do a video? And if they say yes, then I'll do a video of their rig and, you know, and stuff like that. When I'm home, that's a little more challenging because I really don't have a lot to talk about. Right now I'm doing crafts, and my last video was about the video before that of the crafts that I'm doing, which is like multimedia art. And I'm really having a lot of fun. It's keeping me busy. This is my last one that I just did. Can you see it okay?
Oh, yes. That's really cool, Letty.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying. I've done 3 so far. This is my 3rd one. And, you know, that's going to be Christmas presents for my family. That's why I'm doing them, and keeping me busy. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to be going to Hobby Lobby. In my last video, I said that I was going to go to Hobby Lobby because I've got a lot of subscribers and viewers from the UK and Australia, and they don't have Hobby Lobby over there. So I want to do a little tour of Hobby Lobby so they can see what Hobby Lobby is.
Well, so that's cool.
So I'm constantly trying to, think of things. I did one on cooking. I was born in Cuba, so I did one on Cuban chicken and rice.
Ooh,
and but it's challenging when you're home, especially now with the COVID. I don't go a lot anywhere other than to the store. So, you kind of run out of topics.
Sure. No, I understand. So we've got another question. Do you miss not being on the road when you are at home?
Very much. Very much. I don't, I get antsy when I'm at home. I don't have a lot of friends. I have one friend. And then I have my daughter and her kids that live about 5 minutes away. And I have another daughter with a ton of grandkids that live near Houston. But that's 3 hours away. And with the COVID and all those kids, I really didn't want to go over there because, and so I'm home all the time, alone. It's lonely. When I'm out on the road, I'm constantly meeting people. I don't get lonely. As a matter of fact, sometimes I want to be alone. When you're with too many people, you kind of want to be by yourself for a while. So it's way different when I'm on the road. I don't have time to be thinking so much of my pain. I don't have time to be getting depressed because you're meeting people, you're having to do things, you're having to, you know, you got to go get water, you got to take out the trash, you got to go for groceries, you got to go to the laundromat. So it's you're busy, and
Sure.
and that's you know, that's good.
Because you really seem like a people person.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you're very much, yeah.
yeah. I love people. I like to interact. You know, there are times that I want alone time, but if too much alone time, I get depressed.
Hmm. I can
So
imagine. You
yeah,
know, I like people. I get along great with people, but I am also a person who I two things can be true. I told my little sister the other night, two things can be true and be opposites. You know,
yeah.
I love people. I'm a people person, and I like it when I'm by myself. You know, and so, anyways, there's another question here. How long can you boondock in your particular situation without going into town? And that comes from Linda Barker. The other question was from Glorious Life on Wheels.
Um, it all depends. You know, I try to conserve as much water as possible. So, but I would say that on average, I was going to town twice a week.
Okay. Okay.
So,
And that's a little more doable in your setup.
right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
because you don't have to. And a lot of times, like Shelly, she has a big rig, and so I would take her to town with me because it was a lot harder for her to have to put
Yeah.
everything away and go.
Oh,
So, you know, I would help her out that way. Um, so, you know, the people with the big rigs, if you can make friends with somebody with a smaller rig or a smaller van or whatever, you know, you can get it. I enjoy having company when I'm driving if I'm going
mhm.
to go somewhere, so I didn't mind taking people with me.
Okay. Yeah. That's a, you know, getting, that's what I'm talking, that community connection that I really see. There's some that really do most of their time separately, and that's great. And they love it, but a lot like that connection. And here, Scott says you can hold on to him anytime.
Thank
um,
you.
yes, and you are sweet. He's echoing what I think every one of us feel. I want to say welcome to Venvita. Thank you for coming by, Paul. I'm doing an interview, of course, here with Letty Tippins from Living Life with Letty, a great inspiration to everyone. Um, and then I think there was Boom Boom Music. Thank you for coming by. Think we've got everybody. Um, so one other question I wanted to go over, and I don't want to keep you too long. We're now a little over an hour.
Yeah.
Um, being alone on the road, whether you're a woman or a man, but you know, you're an older lady, you've got some disabilities. Have you ever felt afraid of the world around you while living out on the road?
Not at all. Not at all. I I only boondocked at Walmart once. That first time, and it wasn't in the best area. It was in Fort Stockton, Texas, and
Hmm.
that I wasn't afraid. It was just really noisy, and
Okay.
people, you know, with really loud cars, and so I never went to Walmart again. I usually boondock at Flying J
Okay.
and or at rest areas. And a lot of the rest areas, I don't know about the east, but going west, a lot of them have like a man at night, like a groundskeeper. I don't know what you would call him. You know, he cleans, but he's there watching.
Hmm.
And a couple of the times, and I always park in the handicap close to the bathrooms where it's very well lit because it doesn't bother me because I have curtains, so
Uh-huh.
the light doesn't bother in the van.
Right.
And both times the man came and said, you know, are you spending the night? And I said yes. And he says, I'll keep an eye on you.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I felt very safe there. And let's see, where else have I? Oh, I have also boondocked at Cracker Barrel,
Uh-huh.
and that's also good. I felt safe there. I have always felt safe. The last Flying J, I saw a lady that came and started getting her car ready, her bed in her car.
Hmm.
So I got out and I introduced myself and I said, "Are you spending the
Yep.
night?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Is this place good?" It was a Flying J. And she says, "Oh, yeah." And as I was talking to her, this other guy came in an SUV, and he's a security guard who carries a gun, and he lives there as well. He lives there every night. And she says, "Oh, this is my buddy so and so. He's a security guard. Don't worry about it. He's got a gun." And so we put him in the middle of the two of us, you know. That way, anything, we had him there. So yeah, no, I have never been afraid, never. So I don't know if it's just me. And you know, one time it took me forever. I drove like 18 hours straight, which is crazy. Never again. But I wanted to get there, so I'm like a kid, you know. I wanted to get there so bad. And after about, I don't know, 18 hours of being on the road, I couldn't take it anymore. And I stopped at the first little gas station kind of semi-truck stop. I was so tired because I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. I jumped in my van, went to bed, and I never even locked it.
Oh my God.
And nothing, that was the one time when I thought, I was so tired, and I heard this thing on the roof, and I thought it was birds. And I'm thinking, I'm in the desert. There's no trees. How could there be birds here? It was raining. It was raindrops.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm glad to hear it was raindrops on your roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing happened. So I guess, you know, I would never do it again. I'm going to be more conscious. I'm not going to sleep somewhere where I don't even know where I'm at with the doors open. But I think, you know, the chances of anything happening are slim. So I'm not going to worry about it. So, yeah.
I think living in worry is I know, having watched people who lived in worry, I believe it's one of the things that cost my mom her life early. She died at 60. Was that she was so caught up in anxiety that she could not, and she was an aggressive lady, but if somebody had broken into her car while she was living in it, they would have wished to God they had broken into someone else's car, because she would have just gone to town on them. But it really, living in worry and living in fear are two of the things that really can be physically damaging and mentally damaging. I'm not afraid of that. And by the way, most all of us, not everybody, but most of the people I really have seen have a vehicle that they can just get right into. If they're that afraid if something happens, I know we'll be able to crawl from the back of our vehicle and one of us get into the driver's seat and go in that kind of emergency. You know, and then learning how to have precautions if somebody does break in, that kind of thing, how to offset break-ins. So anyways, well, do you have anything that you want to add, Letty? I'm just so grateful you came today. I really am very grateful.
Yeah, no, I mean, the only thing I can say is that this isn't for everybody, but if it's something that you like to do, even in your car, you know, you can, a lot of people make a bed in the back if you can fit, if you're not real tall, and just go, even if you just go for a couple of days and try it out and see if it's for you, because it's not for everybody, you know.
Sure.
But it is a wonderful thing to do. You feel so free. I think it's, you know, I just feel so free when I'm out there, that it's a wonderful feeling.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Freedom, that sense of freedom. You know, I live in town. I live in a suburb. This has been the community I've been in for most of my, on the 2nd of October, I will be 59 years old. And so I've lived in the same area my whole life. I've been to Washington, Tacoma, Washington, and Seattle, and have been to Los Angeles. And by the way, talking about driving straight through, Richard, my husband, and I, and our son, the first time he had found some family that he wanted to go meet, and we drove down there, and it was on a spring break. I went to college 10 years ago, and so it was his spring break and my spring break and our sons. We were all three in college, and we drove straight through. Took us 15 hours to get to Los Angeles from Eugene. So we did do some hard driving, but I would never want to do that again, because the next day, then guess what? I want to sleep. I want to
Yes.
sleep the whole time, and I
Yeah.
don't do well driving at night. Here's a couple of other people to just say hi to. It's about time now. Hello there. I also saw somebody else run into the room. And if you don't know Letty Tippins, please check her channel out, Living Life with Letty. And Senior Sister Freebird came in. Thank you so much for coming. Rayleigh's Creative Travel, thank you for coming. And but I won't hold you hostage, Letty. I
No,
really
my
go ahead.
battery's getting ready to
Okay.
go dead. Yeah.
All right, I'll take you down, and I hope you'll come back sometime. Feel free to just stop into the show anytime. It's Monday and Thursdays, and also we're going to do one on Sundays. But
Okay.
goodbye to you, Letty, and thank you so much. And I love you, and I so much respect you.
Well, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
All right, dear. Bye, Letty.
Bye-bye.
Add stream. All right. So I shut everything down. Oh, there we go. I did it right. So Letty was a she's a blessing in my opinion, because as a female, if I didn't have Richard, people like Letty and Carolyn and anybody else. I know that another one that is full time, I think, out there is living, or excuse me, I'm trying to find her. Oh, 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 Van Vita Travels. And we've also got another woman in here that I know lives on the road, except she does have a Van's Van and Travels. Vanessa, please drop Van's Van and Travels link, please, Kaylee, if you could for me. She's another inspiration. Doreen going out even part-time and doing short trips. That's inspirational to me, because you're a lady out there, whether you don't boondock or not, it doesn't really matter. You do go out, and that's the point for me, is that you guys give me the knowledge and the experience through you that I could do this. If I had to by myself. The things that she touched on, one of the last things about the sense of freedom, that's what I'm looking for, is that sense of freedom. So I'd love to stay on here longer and chat, but I have some things to do, and probably the rest of you got things to do too. So I will be live Sunday. I'll put up a thumbnail. I've already put myself on the schedule. I believe it's 1:00 Pacific time. Maybe it's 1:00 Pacific time, 4:00 Eastern time. So anyways, you'll see the thumbnail for it, and it's going to be a game. We're going to do a game. We're not going to, talk anything serious, or just sit here and stare at the screen. Like, what do I say now? All right, guys, thank you. I genuinely care about all of you. I love you for showing up when I'm here, and I appreciate everybody as well. So God bless you, and have a great few days till I see you again.